Imagine a time before time when nothing existed. No you, no me, no Netflix. Then, something appears. The ancient Greeks called it chaos, a swirling mess of pure potential. From this chaos came Gaia, Mother Earth, and Uranus, the starry sky. Imagine them, two giant beings floating in the void. Gaia, earthy and warm, and Uranus, vast and mysterious. Naturally, they got together. And I mean got together. They had a lot of children. First came the Titans, 12 colossal sons and daughters. We're talking massive, mountain-sized beings with names like Oceanus, the river that encircled the world, and Mnemosyne, blessed with a perfect memory. These were the first gods, and they were a pretty rough bunch, strong yes, and powerful beyond measure, but not known for their intelligence. They were more brawn than brain, these Titans. Now, Uranus, the sky god, wasn't exactly father of the year. He was distant, aloof, and more concerned with his own power than the well-being of his offspring. His children, the Titans, were a constant source of anxiety for him. He feared their potential, their strength, and the possibility that one day they might rise against him. In fact, he was so terrified of his own children that he stuffed them back into Gaia. Imagine the horror and discomfort Gaia must have felt carrying her fully grown children within her. It was an act of sheer desperation and paranoia on Uranus's part, a move to maintain his grip on power at any cost. Can you believe it? Talk about an awkward family reunion. The Titans, cramped and confined, were seething with resentment. They longed for freedom, for the chance to live and breathe without the oppressive weight of their father's fear. Gaia was understandably not thrilled about this. She was the Earth Mother, nurturing and life-giving, and the idea of her children being imprisoned within her was unbearable. Her anger simmered, a slow-burning fire that fueled her determination to set things right. So she came up with a plan and whispered to her son Cronus, the most cunning or least stupid of the Titans, "Hey, want to get rid of dear old Dad?" Cronus, ever ambitious and eager to prove himself, listened intently. He saw an opportunity not just to free himself and his siblings, but to seize power for himself. Gaia handed him a sickle, a weapon forged from the very essence of the earth. "Use this," she said, "and you can end his reign." Cronus, armed with a sickle sharper than a gossip's tongue, did just that. He ambushed Uranus, striking with precision and fury, and in one swift, brutal act he overthrew his father. Cronus, now the new king of the Titans, felt a surge of triumph. He had done the unthinkable, the impossible. He had freed his siblings and claimed the throne. But with power came a new set of fears. The very act that had liberated him also planted the seeds of his own paranoia. He became king of the Titans, but he inherited his father's fear of being overthrown by his children. The cycle of fear and power continued, a never-ending struggle for dominance and control. Cronus, despite his cunning and strength, could not escape the shadow of his father's legacy. And so, the story of the Titans unfolded, a tale of ambition, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of power. Cronus married his sister Rhea, and they had several children, but Cronus, remembering his promise, swallowed each child whole as soon as it was born. Talk about a bad case of indigestion. However, Rhea, clever as a fox in a toga party, managed to hide their youngest, Zeus, by sneaking him away to a secret cave. She tricked Cronus by giving him a rock wrapped in a blanket to swallow instead. Section 5 of the Great Titan War. A family affair you don't want to be in. Imagine a family feud so intense that it shakes the very foundations of the world. This was no ordinary squabble over who gets the last piece of pie at Thanksgiving dinner. This was the Great Titan War, a cosmic clash that pitted the old gods, the Titans, against the new generation, the Olympians. Years passed, and Zeus grew up strong, handsome, and just a tad bit cunning, like mother, like son. Raised in secret to avoid the wrath of his father, Cronus, Zeus was destined for greatness. He wasn't just biding his time. He was plotting, planning, and preparing for the day he would challenge the old order. He challenged his father, and with the help of his siblings, who he tricked Cronus into vomiting up yuck, a colossal war erupted. Imagine the scene. Zeus, with his siblings Hestia, Hera, Demeter, Poseidon, and Hades, all freed from their father's stomach, standing united against the Titans. It was a reunion like no other, and not the kind you'd want to attend. This wasn't your average schoolyard brawl. This was a battle of epic proportions. The Titans, led by Cronus, were formidable opponents. They had ruled the cosmos for eons and were not about to give up their throne without a fight. The Olympians, though younger and fewer in number, had the advantage of strategy and the element of surprise. This was a battle of epic proportions, earthquakes that could shatter mountains, storms that could flood the world, and lightning bolts that could turn you into a kebab faster than you could say, "Holy Mount Olympus." The sky was a battlefield, with thunder and lightning serving as the weapons of choice. The earth trembled under the weight of their conflict, and the seas roared in response. It was a spectacle of divine power and fury, a testament to the might of the gods. Zeus, wielding his mighty lightning bolt, was a force to be reckoned with. His siblings, each with their own unique powers, fought valiantly by his side. Poseidon, with his trident, commanded the seas. Hades, with his helm of darkness, struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. Hera, Demeter, and Hestia, though often overshadowed by their brothers, played crucial roles in the battle, their strength and resolve unwavering. The tide of the battle shifted back and forth, with neither side willing to concede. The Titans, with their immense strength and experience, seemed unbeatable at times. But the Olympians, driven by a desire for freedom and justice, fought with a tenacity that could not be matched. Slowly but surely, they began to gain the upper hand. In the end, it was the Olympians who emerged victorious. The Titans were defeated and cast into the depths of Tartarus, a dark and desolate prison from which there was no escape. The reign of the Titans was over, and a new era had begun. The Olympians, led by Zeus, took their place as the new rulers of the cosmos, their victory a testament to their strength, courage, and unity. And so the great Titan War came to an end. It was a family affair like no other, a battle that would be remembered for all time. The Olympians, now the new gods of the world, took their place on Mount Olympus, their home and their throne. The world had changed, and a new order had been established. But the memory of the war and the lessons learned from it would never be forgotten. Section 6. The Rise of the Olympians, New Gods, New Rules. After a lot of shouting, wrestling, and celestial smackdowns, Zeus and his siblings, now known as the Olympian gods, finally triumphed. The Titans were imprisoned in the darkest depths of the underworld, and a new era dawned. The age of the Olympians had begun. No more stuffing children back into their mothers, thank you very much. These gods were different, younger, more stylish, and definitely more fun. Section 7. The 12 Olympians, a who's who of the divine. These gods and goddesses were the major deities of the Greek pantheon, residing atop Mount Olympus. They played crucial roles in the myths and legends that shaped ancient Greek culture and religion. Leading the pack was Zeus, the big cheese himself. As the king of the gods, Zeus wielded immense power and authority over both gods and mortals. He was the god of the sky, lightning, and thunder. His weapon of choice was the thunderbolt, which he used to enforce his will and maintain order in the cosmos. Basically, if you heard a rumble in the sky, it was probably Zeus having a bad hair day. His temper was as legendary as his power, and he was known to unleash storms and tempests when angered. Then there was Hera, Zeus's wife and queen of the gods. As the goddess of marriage, women, and childbirth, Hera held a significant place in the lives of ancient Greeks. She was the goddess of marriage, women, and childbirth. Her role was to protect and oversee the sanctity of marriage and the well-being of women and children. She was also known for her jealous streak, which often led to conflicts with Zeus and other gods. Which, let's be honest, is understandable when your husband is as charming and unfaithful as Zeus. Hera's jealousy was legendary, and many myths recount her efforts to punish Zeus's lovers and illegitimate offspring. Despite their tumultuous relationship, Hera remained a powerful and respected figure in the pantheon, embodying the complexities of marriage and loyalty. Section 8. Life on Mount Olympus, nectar, ambrosia, and never-ending parties. Imagine living on top of a mountain so high it kissed the clouds. That was Mount Olympus, home of the gods. Forget Wi-Fi and Netflix, these guys had it made. They feasted on nectar and ambrosia, which made them immortal and probably tasted better than the best pizza in the world. They spent their days lounging around, playing games, and generally having a divinely good time. Section 9. Zeus, the big cheese of the cosmos. Zeus, with his booming laugh and electrifying personality, was the top dog. He kept the cosmos in check, ensuring the seasons changed, the sun rose, and humans didn't get too big for their sandals. He was worshipped by mortals who built him temples, offered him sacrifices, hopefully the tastiest cuts of meat, and generally tried to stay on his good side. Section 10. A world divided. Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades get organized. But even for gods, running the universe is a tough gig, so Zeus, being a practical god, decided to delegate. He gave his brother Poseidon, who had a bit of a temper and a fondness for horses, control of the seas. To Hades, the eldest and most serious of the brothers, he gave dominion over the underworld. Section 11 to be continued, and that's how the Titans fell and the Olympians rose to power. But this is just the beginning of the story. Stay tuned for more tales of these powerful, dramatic, and often hilarious gods and goddesses. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next.